Good afternoon, this is Sarah, your imperfect carnivore in the UK. A couple of hours after my massage that I had today. I say massage because it started off being lymphatic drainage and ended up being more exploratory. I'd managed to find a therapist who not only had years of experience in massage and reflexology, she also was an ex-nurse as well, and she was absolutely lovely, and there was nothing she didn't know about the body. So I was so happy that my previous appointment had been cancelled and I got her instead. I think there's a bit of fate in there. I think things happen for a reason. So that I don't bore you and you don't have to wait ages to find out the result, I walked out of there very happy. Very happy. I think we've pretty much pinpointed it down. I might as well come out with it straight away so you don't have to wait. We have narrowed it down to muscular. So the person that commented on my page, I can't remember your name now, my channel, I can't remember your name now, but thank you so much for suggesting muscular, because when she said that I thought, yeah, one of my viewers did say that, and I take a lot of notice of my viewers. I consider all of my feedback and all of my comments really carefully, and if one is really interesting I will screenshot it and come back to it. So if you leave any comments or feedback on my page, do know that I'm super grateful for all of them, and I just, I won't just go, oh, that's interesting, and forget about it. If it is interesting to me, I will look into it. So what happened? Yes, I had a bit of pain in my tummy, and because it was quite near to the right hand side of my belly button, I decided that it must be my lymph nodes. Well, as it turns out, I really don't think I needed lymphatic drainage now, because I've had the full body done and I've had no kind of funky symptoms afterwards. Sometimes you're supposed to get like funky kind of weird urine or weird other stuff going on at the back, or strange smelling skin, or emotional, or crying, or some people are just have all sorts of things. Now, not yet. If that changes, I'll let you know, but 2 hours passed. I haven't had massive urges to go to the toilet or anything weird happening, which is good. Also, I must say that because she was checking me out around the tummy area, she did spend more time there. So it's possible I didn't even have a full lymphatic drainage after all, but it was incredibly relaxing. I may have that procedure done somewhere else later on to see what techniques they use to compare, to see if maybe her technique just isn't perfect. But she was so knowledgeable. It turned out that she had a lot of years experience of massage, and she was an ex-nurse, so I thought I'm in really good hands here, and she knows a lot of things about the body and understands all the muscles, how they work. She could tell which muscles were tight, which weren't. So this brings me to the area around the tummy. This is where I was dreading her touching my tummy, because I just thought, I'm not going to enjoy this. She's probably not going to be able to figure out what's wrong with me, and I'm probably going to come out of here in more pain than I started and no wiser. And what actually happened was, I hadn't told her which side, at that point I hadn't told her which side of the tummy I had a bit of pain on. So she didn't know. So she was going in blind and just feeling all around my tummy and checking my muscles and everything. And she said, well, your left-hand side muscle down your left-hand side is not tight at all, but your right-hand muscle down your right-hand side is as tight as hell. She said, it's so tight, I'm betting that's where you're getting your pain. And instantly, my interest is piqued, thinking, I think we've worked this out, but let's keep going. And she followed the muscle the whole way down and said, yeah, you've got tightness in this whole entire muscle. You have pulled the muscle somehow. And we talked about working with children and all the rest of it and the joys of that. She said, in that area where you're feeling the pain, the only other thing that you could possibly put it down to is appendix. But she said, if you've been having it for a few weeks and it hasn't gone fever pitch and I'm able to touch it, then unlikely appendix, unlikely anything else. But she said, I'm feeling both of your muscles at the same time. Your left muscle is not tight. Your right muscle is super, super tight and agitated in some way. So I thought, okay, then we're pretty much set on 99.9% muscular. So instantly filled with joy. I walked out of there absolutely euphoric, thinking, but of course she did say the usual things like, if you are worried, go to the doctor. Because I did say to her when I first walked in, don't do doctors. So don't tell me to go to the doctor, because I won't. I really should stop being on the offensive all the time. But she said, from my point of view, from a business point of view, I obviously have to say, if you're still worried, go to a doctor just to cover myself. But from what I've seen and my years of experience doing this, and it was really fascinating because she did a bit of reflexology on me while I was there, you know, the fiddling around with the feet and pressing different things. And she found the point that links up to the bowel and all the rest of it and said, is that hurting at all? And I said, no. She said, great. That means that there's probably nothing wrong with your bowel. And I said, no, I'm pretty happy in that area. We talked a little bit about my mum's health problems and how I was so super focused on my health and that I would do literally anything to be as healthy as possible. And the first sign of anything not right, you know, she'd be proud. She taught me everything. Don't go to a doctor, eat loads of meat, eat loads of butter. My nan. And it turns out that so far, nearly 49 in January, that it's working for me, because turns out muscular. I felt it a couple of times since, but then she's been fiddling with it, but she did massage it really well, and she said that in a couple of days it might go down altogether after I've played around with it. But yeah, so 99% sure it's muscular. Obviously I will always keep monitoring, as I do my whole entire body. I'm always monitoring, because if you haven't got your health, you haven't got anything, have you? So that's my experience of going in to see this lovely lady. Did she do enough lymphatic drainage for it to be beneficial? Who knows? But actually, in my case, who cares? Because I've come out of there feeling pretty happy. So that's for anyone that's been wondering about that. I do recommend that massage though. I've never had any form of massage before in my life, so I didn't know what to expect. She laughed when I said, do I keep my bra on? I thought, what are you laughing for? I've never had a massage. And then, of course, there's the hole where you put your face. Initially, I thought about putting my feet that end. So she had a good old laugh about that. I had a good old laugh about that. It was great. And I've left her a 5-star review, and I'll be going back there. I don't think anyone who watches this lives locally to me, but there's a shout out. It's Healing Hands Massage in Surrey. So, yeah, really happy. So I don't know whether to talk any more about that, because I think that pretty much covers it. If you have any more questions about what happened and the after effects, and which have been none, I made sure that the car was right outside the door just in case, because I've heard reports of people just coming out just desperate for the toilet and running around looking for a toilet because they're now. I think maybe it's because it's still very hot in the UK, but I'm gonna keep flushing myself out, drink all afternoon. Just keep drinking and flush it all out. So yeah, I think that's pretty exciting or relieving. I can tell my husband now, because I wasn't telling him, because if I said there was a pain I didn't recognise, his first reaction is to panic. So I thought I'll wait till after. He'll have a nice beer later, and then when he's relaxed I'll say I had a massage today, and then go from there. I am, for the people that watch me to the end and are going to take a little bit more time to listen to me, I was watching a very, very brilliant video by Kelly Hogan this week. She was, and it is further proof of what I'm saying about women of a certain age struggling to get the weight off. We all know the carnivore man, don't we, that's lost 20 kilos in 2 minutes. We all have heard of them. We all know about them. But for women 45 plus, it generally doesn't go that way for a lot of us. And she did a video, and it was actually a Zoom call where she's got lots of different people all on the screen at the same time. And she was talking to all of them about they had broken a weight loss stall, and talking about what they'd done to break the weight loss stall. This was really, really fascinating to me, because I thought, whatever it is, I'm probably not going to do it, because I'm just going to eat my meat, drink my water like the veterans. But then I thought, yeah, but you don't want to be in this situation 5 years' time, still here. Let's listen to what all these lovely ladies have to say. The first thing that hit me was that all of the women, it was all women, and it was all women between about 45 and 70 on the screen. About a dozen of them. I'm going to post a link in the description of that video if you are a woman over 45. The reason I'm putting it in this video is because I'm only started trying their suggestions today, so I can't confirm if it works. So I'm going to be following their suggestions for the next month, 2 months, 3 months, and if I feel like I am changing in my shape and things are happening, I'll get back to you. But until then, all I'm doing is recommending that video, and you can watch it and see if any of their suggestions work for you. So one thing I noticed was they were all women aged 45 to 70. The other thing I noticed was they all had the same problem, and they actually were all under eating. Now, it's unlikely that that's the case for me, because my biggest problem, I believe, is that I snack a lot. I snack a lot on pork rinds and cheese and all kinds of things. And the way they were talking suggests that I am way over on my protein and fat. But all of them, because they'd come from a dieting history, they were all under eating. And so Kelly was suggesting to them that they get a carb manager app, which I've now downloaded on my phone. I'm not going to show it to you because there's no need, and partly because we're on the phone, aren't we? So can't do anything about that. Long story short, I've worked out my ideal protein amount and ideal fat amount for my height, weight, whatever, and for my goals. You know, I've only put in that I want to lose about half a pound to a pound a week. That would be amazing to me. If I could lose just half a pound of fat a week, that would be just fantastic. Because by this time next year, on my 50th birthday, I will be looking and feeling so much better. So I've downloaded it, put all my details in, and it's recommending for me 120 grams of protein and 160 grams of fat. Now, I've decided for the short term, I will go back to steaks, but for the short term, to be absolutely accurate, I am going to use these frozen burgers that I use. They're by a well-known UK supermarket, and they are just salt and pepper in them. So the way that I'm going to eat is going to be primarily mostly lion with a sprinkling of pepper. So not quite lion, but it feels like lion. Dairy's gone today, caffeine's, coffee's gone today. I was already off the sweeteners, already off the treats. So today I'm saying, right, as it's hot and you haven't got that much appetite, let's get going. So I've worked out that the amount of the protein and fat is the equivalent to 6 of these quarter pounders. So that's 3 at some point during the morning and 3 in the evening. I won't be hungry on that at all, but it's focused my mind, because I'm now not going to have any pork rinds, I'm not going to have any cheese, I'm not going to have any other snacky bits. It's focusing my mind saying, right, for the next month or 6 weeks, why don't you follow 120 grams of protein, 160 grams of fat, and just see what happens. And then during that time, I'll become fat adapted. It will get easier and easier and easier, which is good, because as we hurtle towards autumn and winter, it's going to get colder. So I need to be fat adapted before that happens, so that I can keep having that amount of food and being satisfied. So I thought I'd pop that in at the end of the video for the people that tend to watch all of it. I'm going to pop the link into the description of that video. But yeah, very happy, very bouncy. The kids are getting away with murder this afternoon because Mummy is so happy. So they're excited. So they can just laze around, do what they like, because Mummy's just so happy she doesn't actually care, because she's been massaged. And she's had a dodgy muscle diagnosed that she knows is going to be fixed with Lion Diet. So it's all going to be fixed within the next month or two. So that's my update. I'm not going to talk in any more of my videos about that Kelly video, because I don't know if it's going to work for me. So I can't recommend that way of doing things until I've tried it myself. So I'm just popping it in there. I am going to do more videos about all kinds of different things, but for the time being, eat your meat, drink your water. If you've got anything wrong with you at all, go and find one of these naturopaths or reflexologists or massage therapists. You wouldn't believe what they know. And take care of yourself, and love you loads. See you later. Bye.